Hey, welcome back. So I picked out of a hat 5 random films, one from each decade, starting with the 1980s, and I'll do a quick review of them. Nothing too big, just a brief synopsis, just to tell you what I think of them, just to give you an idea of what I like and what I've seen. 5 random films. Don't want to spend too much time on one film because you probably haven't seen them, and I don't want to bore you guys. So the first one I picked is a comedy from 1986 called Big Trouble in Little China. This one is directed by John Carpenter, The Thing, Halloween, and it stars Kurt Russell and Kim Cattrall, and tells the story of a truck driver who helps his friend rescue his green-eyed fiancée from bandits in San Francisco. They go into the mysterious underworld beneath Chinatown where they face an ancient sorcerer who requires a woman with green eyes to marry him in order to be released from a century-old curse. I recently watched this film and remembering it was fun. I remember it having all the elements of an 80s action, martial arts, and comedy with okay effects for its time, and also this is in Kurt Russell's heyday. I think they were planning a sequel reboot with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but I don't know what happened to that. Second film that I drew was a 1990 comedy film called The American President, starring Michael Douglas and Annette Bening, about the widowed president of the United States and his romantic relationship with an environmental lobbyist while still trying to be leader of the free world. It was directed by Rob Reiner, written by Andy Sorkin, and has an ensemble cast with Martin Sheen, Michael J. Fox, and Richard Dreyfuss. Now, I was always a fan of Michael Douglas since the 80s, especially his tough guy roles like Fatal Attraction and Wall Street. But this is his first one where he's not playing one of those roles. I remember reading about it, and he was shadowing President Bill Clinton in preparation for this role, and I think he did an okay job. Overall, it was a good movie, especially for the time, and I highly recommend it. Next film I picked came out in 2008, called The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. It was directed by Mark Herman, based off the novel of the same name, who stars Vera Farmiga, Rupert Friend, and Asa Butterfield. This film is set in Nazi-occupied Poland and follows the son of a commandant officer who befriends a Jewish prisoner of his age. I remember watching this movie on a Saturday evening with my family and my 3 boys, who at the time were young, probably the same age as the boys in the movie. I don't want to give any spoilers, but when the movie was over, they all turned to me mortified, with a mortified look on their face and tears in their eyes. Because even if they didn't understand the subjects of the film, they can see the connection and relationship of the 2 boys. Overall, good movie, good acting, good writing, and a good watch. Kind of surprised it didn't get nominated for anything else. The next film is an Oscar-nominated film, 2014, Whiplash. This is a great movie, directed by Damien Chazelle, starring Miles Teller, Paul Reiser, and J.K. Simmons, and his Oscar-winning performance. The film tells the story of a young jazz drummer and relationship with his eccentric and abusive instructor. The acting, the writing, the story was good, so good actually, it was nominated for Best Picture that year. And as somebody who likes music, I really enjoyed the drumming scenes. FYI, this film was first produced as an 18-minute short film that you can see on YouTube. The final film I drew was a dark comedy thriller called Totally Killer. It was released in 2023 and directed by Nanchakatan Khan, I think I said that correctly, my apologies, about a teenage girl who goes back in time to stop her mother's killer. So this film doesn't have any known actors, except for Julie Bowen, who you've probably seen her in Modern Family. It's a film I wouldn't consider good, just maybe fun to watch. If you have nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon, throw it on. One more thing about this film. In the film she goes back to the year 1987 and teams up with her mother to prevent the Sweet 16 killer from starting his original spree. As she's doing this, she references 2 very known films, a well-known 1980s time travel film and a 90s teen slasher. Please drop a comment, drop a like, drop a follow. Thanks again for watching.